Good morning, everybody. I'm over here today with a trader from Swiss. This morning we had very few stocks in the small cap plan that were moving. I have over here in screen share Sai. I had this morning in the room Pedro. He's from Scotland, and it was nice to hear to him because he has this kind of, I would say, high emotions when he trades, so he likes to bring traders and involve them into their trading. So let's look over here at Sai this morning. First of all, anybody took this? You can follow us also, traders, over here on the YouTube channel, right? So, good morning, James. Morning, Greg. Let's see whoever took today this morning. Sai. We have a few things to say about this stock today. Morning. So, I want to go over the plan we had on Sai today. So, first of all, Sai is a small cap. Is highly manipulated. Over here I put Bookmap with candlesticks to show you something before. So we can see that every single time that the price got to this 450, we have these spikes. So we have huge sellers jumping in over here on the tape every single time we push into this 450, 460. So high sellers over here, high liquidity. It faded over here below this pre-market high, which was in this case the level of 430, and now is reclaiming this 430. So I always say that after 10 o'clock we have the worst shorts, especially in the small cap land. The reason why Sai is not for me an easy fader is not because of only the price section, but it's also because the dilution that we have in the stock. So over here we have the dilution tracker. We have a small market cap, small float, but also we have the small dilution over here. And over here we have an S1 offering. You know, the S1 is one of the main catalysts for me to take a short in the market on these small caps, but is withdrawn. Was a 30 million over here S1 with underwriter over here Maxim. You know, we can have Kant, we can have so many. In this case is with Maxim, but over here the S1 is withdrawn. This is what Sai is doing over here. So we have a previous history on the stock, which was a fader. So this means that it faded below the open level and it closed below the open level. We have around 11 million float and a low institutional ownership. So what happened this morning? How we traded this? Let's go and check together the heat map. You can see over here that I like to generally have a filter on my heat map. So we're gonna put 5,000 shares. So let's filter some noise out. And then we're gonna put over here, no candlesticks. We're gonna put the volume dots. I like to use the smart, and I can put over here minimal display 100, 500, or as I prefer. Okay, so I can put also this over here. So this is the price section. The other thing that I like to add is NBBO. So you can see over here the NBBO. Or if you don't have the NBBO option, you can use over here, for example, the last price. Okay, it doesn't really change that much. You can have the NBBO over here. You can see the bid and the ask, or you can simply have it over here. We're just put over here the VWAP, heat map, list price, and volume dot. This is very, very simple. I can sometime put over here the cumulative volume over here. I can put, let's say, the volume per file. In this case, I just have the volume dots, heat map, and bookmap. Over here, dots. So if you look at the stock, we're going to put over here our pre-market high. This 430 area. So the price got above this pre-market high. You can see over here, it was a peak around 470 here over here. This 470, we see these three main pops, right? You can see how it stalled over here and then dumped. Then again, you can see that it stalled over here, exhausted as well, and then dump. Every single time was holding the 428, 425. And then it came back a third time at this 450. And you can see this 450 is this major stuff that we had over here. This is the 450 stuff here, and then right away down. And now, since we started this trade, the trade we took was around 450 short. We have over here now a reclaim of the VWAP, another seller join over here, 450. But again, I always say one thing. Once the price is above the pre-market high by 10 o'clock, I'm not really looking anymore to take any big size position, because this market is like this. It likes to trap. If you start looking at previous stocks like, for example, Lucy, you can look at stocks like CXSI. They start holding the pre-market high, they're going to be fader or only late day fade or day two. So what we're doing over here, we're holding the short. Our risk is going to be, in this case, this 441, 442. So we will plot a level of risk over here. And now it's only about letting the trade work. If the trade will work, the last target we're going to have is going to be in the 320, 330 area. So this level down here, this main support. What I can do is look in the Bookmap the price section. That's all I can do. There's nothing more to do, nothing more to trade on this stock. If we have patience, and this will pay, will be a very good risk-reward ratio. If this stock won't pay, in this case, we're going to have a small win. I want to share the price section that we had in the past days when we had this kind of price section. We had INEB this morning, but also 3 days ago. And I want to share the price section we had in the stock. So you can see, and I'm going to put over here the level of the pre-market high. You can see, trader, that this is the pre-market high, okay? So, sorry, actually, this level over here. This was the pre-market high of 3 days ago, the 24th. So we had a pop at the open, we had the stuff, very similar to the price section we have today. And then you can see that around 10:15, so around this time, 10:15, 10:20, 10:30, we started to reclaim over here the open level. We started to reclaim the pre-market high, which was around $2.95, $3. And this continued to extend. It was only a fader, traders, on the day two. If we look at back in the days, I remember Lucy. Lucy was a clear example of all this. There we are. This is Lucy. So I'm going to make this a little bit bigger. There we are. And Lucy, at the gate, we had exactly the price section that we have today on side, right? Very similar. So we have our pre-market high, which was this level over here. We break it, fail, push, fail again. 10:15 seems unwinding. Okay, so 10:15 is below the pre-market high, below the open level. We form a new lower low, and then over here 11:30 we move to 1 p.m. we have a higher low. Move over here 13:20, a new higher low, and then it's actually a squeeze. So if a stock continues to make a lower high, lower low, there's a potential candidate for a fader even today. But the fact over here is that instead of making lower high, lower low, we start making higher low and higher high. So over here, higher low, break this high, we make a new higher high, and then it squeezes. The point again, remember, psi doesn't have any kind of dilution, so it could be a potential trap this morning, and ideally a squeeze coming. That's the reason why for me is shorting at a good level, holding with risk now in the money. If we're going to have a fader, this is going to be a good opportunity. If we're going to have a stop in the money, that's fine, part of the game. Okay? This is trading small caps. Another stock that is gapping right now is AUDA. So AUDA, we're talking about a small cap with around 4 million float. Institutional over here, 10% more or less, you can see. We don't see any news, relative news over here. We have an extension play this morning. It exactly pushed this $3 resistance. So let's put over here a 1 minute chart. It pushing this $3 resistance and it start fading. Let's look at any kind of daily key level. Yep, we have one. So we can plot this level of resistance over here, which was the previous move. And in this day, we traded around 5 million. So I will be taking this high as a relative point. Also because we traded volume. It's not a lot of volume over here. It's like 5 million, a little bit more. I can go check over here the records to see if we had any kind of also gap. We didn't have any gap. All these were extensions. No gaps above 20%. Then we have other levels of interest. So we have this high over here, which is the 320. And then we have this high over here around 340, 345. So we see with Bookmap this grinding price action. Then we had a washout over here, 1024. Let's go check it on the 1 minute. This over here, you can see the washout. Push over here to the high. Start to make over here rejection at that daily area between 290 over here and 320, and then start to fail. Now, assuming that you didn't take the trade because you are not on this, so I'm gonna look for potential plays. Now the only potential plays that I see is that if we establish a lower high, so ideally 280, 290, we're gonna have low volume, and then ideally we can see a setup to short into this area here, so the daily resistance. This is some of the plays we had this morning on SI. So first over here we have a trader who got long. This long was a little bit early. He stopped out. And then he took the long over here, sold to this position into this peak $394. And you can see, trader, that if you start shorting front side of a move over here, you're gonna have a lot of problems. So the trader over here says, trader, very good. Waited this main extension to the 470 and then start attacking over here lower highs. So we can see the push in the side, the 450 we were talking before, and then cover the dip. This is a correct way to take these trades. Or you can simply look for these trades over here, like this other trader took. In this case, these are longs. So this trader didn't touch short on this one, and that's a very good way to take. I know that also was very hard to find borrows, or you could take them very early, or with some brokers were a little bit more expensive. So here the trader took simply a perfect long at the gate, sold, and then sold this push. So you can see that with the same stock we have more than one possibility. You can take both shorts, both longs, and still be possible because there's possibility for both type of traders to make your day. So let's go check back. RSI. Remember, we have no dilution. And this is the reason why I believe, besides for them having an agenda, why this is holding more today and not simply fading. So let's go back and put over here SI. No dilution.
Stuffed quite nicely here.
I also would like to show you Tesla. I know that a lot of traders over here follow Tesla. Beautiful unwind this morning. So Tesla over here, the plan that I gave was first setup looking for an over-under, which is a short position. And then I said, in case instead of a reversal, let's look for a long. Tesla in this case looking to trade with the 160 puts. It failed all the way down with high selling pressure. Look, these bars over here on the 1 minute, they passed the 1 million. We're gonna put also over here the dots. So when you have a chart and you just want this as the previous chart, go in chart settings, inherit, and then put inherit from the other chart that we had before. So we can see over here all the major levels of liquidity that we have today on Tesla. So the first thing is start looking at the key levels of the previous day. We had a previous day low, 158 and 70. And I want to zoom out a little bit. So I'm going to go to a 30-minute chart or a 60-minute chart, right? And I'm going to look for those previous support and resistance areas because I need to know over here what is going to be the target. The target this morning we were looking was 155. So let's go back to our hourly chart as well. We can also check even better a daily chart. And we can zoom in a little bit. So you can see traders this level of liquidity over here. Over here we have a gap fill, right? From the 155 down over here to the 146, 147. So generally when we have these levels of support and then we have simply a gap fill to the new level, this level here support will be a level where we stack a lot of liquidity. So I want to double check over here what we had at 154.50s. Let's go over here. And the 154.50s, what this area with this huge liquidity area over here. You can see all the orders. They were removed. The stock continued to unwind over here to 153. It tried to push back up to the previous support and now resistance. We had a major seller over here jumping at 154. So he was stopping over here the price action. Another dump. In this case, look how Bookmap helps you because we start forming a new support level over here. Now this time 153 and 55. And then we start forming higher low. So, and the bounce over here. I mean, this bounce is not really a reversal. okay? This bounce is just like, I would say, call it physiological, because when we have a big unwind like this, it's normal that we'll see some kind of profit taking from short sellers, and on a major support, we'll see like dip buyers. It always happens, right? So in this case over here, what we're looking is only trend following on Tesla for now. Not any kind of long position in mind. We're gonna stay with the trend. Let's scan what else we had this morning. So CRKN, it's a gap with around 118% gap, 72 million volume traded for now. We have a low institutional, around 22 million float. We have a history of the fader. So this stock faded every single time that had a gap above 20% in the last 5 years. So 8 times faded, 100% fader. AUDA is a stock we were looking before, and ideally over here we'd like to see again $293. SI, which is the stock that we're actually in short, but it's not really fading. It's just holding over here this pre-market high area. So the pre-market high area over here. And we can see right now that we rejected this level of resistance for 40. Let's see what else we have in the market. PBLA, another small cap company, 40 million float, low institutional ownership. Nice over here stuff, happened twice. This is one of the usual setup that we like to trade. So first stop over here, and then second one over here, 0.78. And LUNR. LUNR, nice extension this morning from the lows over here, 7s to the 940. Stock with 50% favored by history. Stock with decent institutional ownership. We are around 43%. No news that I can find. 625 million market cap, 17 million float. I already put over here the key levels from the previous days. We have this area at $9. We have more over here, 950s, so we can trade these levels. $9 over here. We put over here the 950, and then we'll look even higher here if we have anything. See a 5-minute chart. We can definitely put also a support over here, this 10-20 area. Resistance, sorry, 10-20 area. About these extensions, they like to pump and dump, so I'm looking for the stock to pump and dump. I'll be looking for one of the patterns that I like to trade is called J Slim. So mainly it is a bull trap pattern, particular bull trap pattern. So I'll be looking for that kind of play to take the trade over here today short. Let's go back on Tesla. So Actor over here is asking, Jay, using Bookmap with a high sensitivity of heat map to detect support resistance levels. Could you show us the sensitivity? Yeah, so it's not something fixed for all the stocks the same. So for example, Tesla will have some particular settings, and small caps, according to the volume and to the dollar stock, will have other type of settings. If we look at Tesla, this is Tesla, Nvidia, Amazon, Meta, SPY. I would say also BABA in this market because it's pretty rangy, so there's a lot of range, are my favorite tools to trade who are concerns, in this case SPY, ETF, and others, big caps, who are concerned this asset. So I go over here and you can see, first of all, my heat map. Now, I didn't put yet today Tesla with my filter, but generally I like to put over here 1000 or 1500. So I like to filter the small levels of heat map. Okay, I don't want to see too much confusion on my charts. Only the main important levels. Okay, so we can see over here, this 161 plus area, there's high liquidity. So this morning we're topping out. I'm looking when I have these dumps, okay, this morning dump, this morning open fail, for two main setups. I was talking over here before with a trader. The first setup is going to be a VWAP projection or a first pullback to an exponential moving average 90 MA. From that point, the stock simply started unwinding over here. I would say with really big volume, big size, these bars on the 5-minute chart, they rise above 4 million. So this is very huge, big orders dumping today on Tesla. Okay, and again, this is one of my favorite stocks to trade. I simply trade it almost every day, and I would suggest you, if you want to get specialized and become good in one stock, to follow the stock that has a high liquidity and a high range. So that's a high possibility to make profits. To answer over here, actor, if I go and I check over here the volume dots, we can simply filter even this. A lot of traders will put over here smart or by volume. I like to keep it smart over here. You can put even inherit none, and then minimal display volume we can put, for example, 100 and then apply. But if you put smart over here by volume, you can just put smart, is pretty fine. We can put aggregation by time, aggregation by price, aggregation by volume. This is fine. I don't like to have the dots too big. We'll just keep them very small. I don't want that they, I would say, make my levels small. I want to see the levels first of all, and then I see how the price reacts over there. What platform do you use behind Bookmap to see the institutional ownership? Okay, so this over here is JTrader. So over here, JTrader. You can check even under my videos over here for if you want a discount. But essentially I use this for dilution. I use this for overview of the company, the stats, the filings, and the charts itself. It's a pretty good one, so I really like it. So Tesla unwind, and now let's look at SPY. So remember before we were talking about the stock. It's pretty hard, this stock. So we got out break even the rest, or in the money the rest. As we said, it's 10 o'clock past. It's still in that pre-market high. This is one of those, I would say, stocks that are a little bit harder to trade, especially now. We don't have any kind of A+ setup. So we will simply wait over here that we have a good play. So grinding stocks by 1030. I don't see any kind of A+ setup that I want to trade. Potentially this could give us now, in the next 15-20 minutes, two main setups. And I will explain what I'm looking over here. The first will be a break of 40.50, 40.55, so this area, and we could have a potential big long over here. Okay, so on the break of this level, 450, 455, we're gonna have a big potential breakout. And why I tell that this, so over here this morning, especially once we fill the VWAP, we have a lot of traders that are trapped. So we're gonna put over here text. We're gonna put over here, let's say white, short strapped below VWAP and pre-market high. So what I mean by that, I mean that or you're short when you take these trades high, or you simply leave them and don't trade them. Okay, because if you're short over here weakness, they're gonna trap you. You can see over here we have a trend line this morning, they're holding this trend line. So one point over here for me, I'm gonna call over here the first phases, right? We're gonna have a breakout of 450, say 52, and push to 470 and 5. Okay, so this is a breakout. And you know that I don't like to trade breakups, so I'm not going to be trading it. The second one instead is instead push to 450 and 460, major stuff move. What is a stuff move? It's essentially like we had before, a breakout and right away a dump, okay, and dump. Let's put these with a gray color. These are the two potential setups that I'm looking right now on side, okay? It's clear, traders. Nick, can you share your chart on side? So I just want to share the risk management with a 1 minute chart. Today, it's a good example of how a stock that we were trading was correct the plan, correct the execution. The level that we traded was this point over here, and we didn't trade a stock, I would say, with any kind of big size, right? So we're talking over here about the potential to make a 4-figure, but I want to share with you this chart only to share the risk management that in this case the trader had, which for me was very, very perfect. So we have over here the data extension 470, and then over here after this major stuff that you can see, this red wick, the trader got in short. Okay, so first target by plan, that's the pre-market high, and at this point we have, that is below the pre-market high. The pre-market high is 430. At this point we see that we have to cover partial, and then or this will unwind for a major fader, or in this case risking the money. So this is the correct way to trade when something is an A+ setup, but in this case doesn't work. Okay, so remember that not all the trades you will take will be all day faders if you're short. Some will be react like this. So we're watching over here at LUNR, SPY, ETAL, Tesla as well, 6SI, which was a major failure this morning, SOBR, Tesla, Meta, Amazon, Nvidia. Want to check with you traders over here now Tesla. So we're gonna look at this stock. So remember what I said, we have essentially a downtrend stock. So we're not really looking to trade this long. We only be staying this on short. We're gonna see a potential SI if we're gonna have that 455, 460 fake out short again, or this will simply rip to 470 and 5. We had a big move today on Nvidia, and this gives us first a short and then reversed to the upside. Okay, this is one of the patterns that I love to trade. This morning we had Nvidia. I'm going to put it over here. So this is Nvidia traders. We have this morning this is the 9:30 open. You can see it started to push 9:30 to the 271, which is this level over here. It rejected this heat map that we see over here. I'm gonna zoom in. There we are. Reject over here the heat map 271, this area. And it simply start dumping. So we had our setup over here. This is a setup that we trade for a short. The short entry is around 270.50, 270.6, 270.40. So just when we start crossing to the downside at pre-market high. And then we went to this pre-market low. So picture perfect, right? All the way down over here, around 3 points move. What I like about this is that if you look at Bookmap, we see these orders coming in. So 270.20, 270, 269.9. So it's like tapering down over here, and it's a stair-step down pattern. So we have sellers that continue to follow over here the price. And then once we got this 267, so the pre-market low, we start having buyers again. What I look is confluence of signals. So we got to this first low over here to 69, bounced. We got to the low over here to 68, bounced. We got over here to the level to 67, bounced. This is that first bounce where we start making actually higher lows and break the previous relative high. And then we start pushing more, dipping again. So holding this previous resistance, now support, breaking the VWAP, and that is your reversal. Okay, that is your reversal. So we have to continue to look at the scanners over here. 11 o'clock. So LUNR, PBLA, AUDA, PSI. You can go back over here on PSI. Yeah, PSI traders are one of those stocks that they're hard to trade because right now we have shorts trapped, and only if we see a bull trap over here we can grab for the short side. Otherwise we simply have to wait. Tesla's just making our lows and our highs. So for now we have to wait on Tesla. So trader over here is asking about Tesla, if this is a potential short setup, right? So look over here, traders. First of all, the first thing I like to do is tracing my fibs. So I trace my fibs in this way. So we have a descending stock, downtrend. I place the high over here, 100 up here, and then these are retracements. This is the way that I trade it and use it. So right now, the price on Tesla is pulling back to the VWAP 156. It's pulling back over here to this previous small consolidation area right here. But unless major stuff or any kind of candlestick pattern to confirm over here a bull trap with this 156, 156 and 50, and then reversal, so continuation to the downside, I'm not gonna touch this. Okay, I'm not gonna touch this. And this is SI again. So breaking down this trend line, often they will do this and then they will start pushing upside. So we're gonna see this over here. I'm not over here trade short. So I would like to see over here a potential push to the 450. Never short over here. Weakness, they're just simply gonna trap you often. On Bookmap, if I look at my levels, I can trace my trend line. You can see that now we broke, okay? This could be a potential trap. So the level that we want ideally to look for short is this over here into the 450. Don't look for anything less than that. You know, and also this has to be your play. You have to be very comfortable trading this. It has to be part of your playbook, of your niche. Otherwise, don't simply take it. Can you check AUDA over here 1 second? AUDA with a E, EUD, like this. Okay, so almost to the J lines over here and curling back up. All right, all right. Side, we could see traders a potential 410 dip and then bounce long. So I'm looking at side. What I'm looking right now is a potential dip this area and then a long. Let's look together if we're gonna have any kind of signal over here to enter long. So for now they're dumping. Wash over here to the 409. This is a good potential long over here if it holds this $4 for a bounce play. Where's 404? So you can see that we had a wash. 408, previous support, right? This over here. We're also at this, we say, low of our descending triangle, because we can see the price action over here. essentially it's bouncing over here. So let's see. If it touches 1 minute dealers, it's not anymore long. So now the second level that I'm watching is this area here for a potential stop and short. 450, 460. Any question, traders? So actors asking over here, if you trade particular option, do you trade a particular option? You mean stock? So based on the stock, I prefer to trade options on high liquid stocks, like on Tesla. No, I just like vertical over here. So let's say that we're looking this morning at Tesla. So you can see that I'm gonna put over here. I'm entering Jtraders on options. And you can see that we are looking for 160 puts, or in case of reversal, 162.50 calls. So in this case, we apply the strategy that we use from the line stock on options, all right? And I do that, I would say, in a pretty efficient and easy way. So not too much trading with the Greeks, but looking at the first at the money, in the money, or out of the money, generally weekly options, where I have a lot of liquidity, so I need volume. If something is spready, if we don't have enough, I would say, volatility on the underlying stock, is not something I'm going to trade. Okay, so that is for me the first main parameter. I made, buddy, some videos on options that you can find on my YouTube channel. Start looking at those. Then you can reach out to me. I can give you some more things to study. Okay. Actually, look over here. This is what the market often does. We have a dump, and you can see over here that we have this very small trade over here that we don't know if this is an algo or somebody that starts to buy over here and positive. But then we have more liquidity coming over here, 416. So in this case, if you miss over here at that 410 dip, you know, this support that we see over here is not anymore a trade long to take, because we want to take the perfect dip. The fact is the 415, 416 over here could be only a spoofing, and they make you enter long, they push a few cents, they stuff it, that cancels, like doing over here right now, and then it dumps. You know, so it could be a particular trap that they like to do. Thank you, Hector. I'm very appreciative, buddy. I'm here just to help traders, so when you have a question, just reach out. One thing on Tesla I want to say, if you were listening what we were saying before, one of the only setups that I like to trade when I get to that level is to see stuffs like this on Tesla. And this is a particular J-Slim. What is a J-Slim? It's a tight, narrow consolidation. Okay, so in this case, we have J-Slim over here. The trade probably won't work, but that's exactly what I'm looking to trade. Okay, so you have to train yourself to recognize this kind of pattern. So traders over here is asking, what do you think about NASDAQ? What do you mean, buddy, about NQ futures? Oscar? So I'm gonna share over here a question from a trader. I will make the picture larger here. Trader, when you can, send me your charts bigger, just because I'm a little bit blind, okay? So over here we have some levels of confluence, and the trader is asking me over here where he's pointing out if this over here is by Playbook, okay, a level where I can look to long. So we can see that we have a major dip, and when I have a dip, I'm looking for a support. The more we test the support, the more this support has, I would say, reliability. And it's not only because I see a technical over here band that I want a long, but if that band has confluence with other signals, could be a key daily level, could be with a candlestick pattern, could be in this case with Bookmap, then the more things I align together and they confirm my trade, the better it is for me to take a trade. So in this case, yes, this is a Playbook entry if we align all setups together. Now, I don't know what this stock is. I don't know what the CLSK, okay. But I would need to see the daily chart and everything. Over here, we can see the confluence of the level of the J lines and the level over here of heat map, that they correspond together. So that's often my way to go for taking these dip long trades, yes. So let's go back over here at SI. So you can see what it did, right? First they place over here support. So they invite you to get long. Now they shift over here the support. So it seemed like they were spoofing over here. And then they place over here the resistance. So now what's the point? They will invite you to join in short over here. But again, shorting weakness is always a very bad sign, because you expose yourself at more possible losses. So I don't generally do that. I mean, I never do that. I never short weakness. This is a 50-minute chart. And this is a 30-minute chart. Nvidia looks interesting over here. So we are inside this range from the previous day. Here, this is the high of the previous trading range. We start curling over here. So we could have a potential move to the 272 and 50, 273 and 60. Still not a setup for me form, but I will be watching today on Nvidia. So we have a potential over here. Breakout on Nvidia. So we'd like to see this breakout and then looking for pullbacks to buy it long. So I'm looking over here for potential breakout of 271. If we're gonna hold this, then I'm gonna long into pullback. That is the reason.
But pullback back to here, no?
No. To the J line. Or VWAP, yeah.
Yeah, so significant pullback.
So it's breaking at 271. We're gonna put over here. All right, so the last few minutes together. If you have any questions, please reach out. So Trader's asking about a comment that I gave before on INAB, and I'm going to explain over here. So INAB is one of those stocks that was up 2 days ago. So this morning we had a bounce play. I'm going to enlarge this 1 second. So you can see over here that the first day, so the 24th, we had a push, it faded, right? Over here we had a bear trap, push again to the upside, faded, and day 2 faded. This morning we had a bounce over here play. So this is a bounce play where into this high liquidity area. You can see that this was the high, the lows over here. So we have this structure over here of resistance, okay? It started fading over here with no major, I would say, bull trap over here. It just like had a rejection at 280, so I didn't jump in the trade. And I started simply fading over here with low volume. I didn't see like any kind of big buy, but also not a big seller. Only over here at 820, it dumped. And then over here more at 930. But the first 30 minutes was very choppy over here. So it was slowly fading, slowly having liquidity over here. They only dumped after 820. So when I said that it was a fadey, with a shady fader, that was the reason why. Nvidia breaking out, yes. So we're going to look for a potential pullback long. All right, traders. So we have 11:20 over here. Hope that you enjoyed the session. If you have questions, please reach out. I'm JTrader. I mentored small cap, and Bookmap in the last 5-6 years. So if you have questions, reach out. See you next week. Follow us, Bookmap. Thank you very much, and see you next time. Thank you, traders.